You tuned in to the 7-Day Theory. Hard body, hard spirit.
Do you think that the Drake and Kendrick thing got totally out of hand? Do you think it spiraled out of control?
The world, right away, the world became like politics. You're either Democrat or Republican. You're either Kendrick or you Drake. And you got to pick a side, boom, boom. And I felt like the nigga that was like disgusted both ways damn near. You know what I mean? So when you say, did it get out of hand? It's like, creatively, that's not my place to say.
Right.
But I think the out of hand that I think is like, to me, is like disgusting how people try to use that opportunity, either show how they really felt about Drake the whole time, or just like pile on
that's a fact.
And tear this dude down and like create a narrative as if he's not great. It was a whole campaign and probably still is to this day.
Right.
So on one hand, it's like, yo, I feel weird and they're gonna make headlines out of this. Just like when I see Kendrick get the moment he had, the pop out, the stadium, the Super Bowl,
the Grammys.
I'm like, I'm just as proud of this nigga as I was when I knew him back then. But I also hate that for Drake. And I hate how the world turns on him. And simultaneously, I'm over here like, man, I hope Iceman go crazy.
What up, my people? Hard body, hard spirit. Check this. I don't know if this is everybody Drake done sent out memos to Gilly, to J. Cole. Hey, everybody, make sure y'all on the same page. Make sure, I didn't lose the battle. No, it was just everybody wanted me to lose. So that's why I lost. And that's what they pushing, right? Because Gilly just said this last week or whatever, however many days ago it was. I mean, the video's on the channel about that. When Gilly said that, and he blamed it on black people specifically. He said black people wanted Drake to lose. That's why he lost the battle. Not because he just lost the battle. Not because Kendrick had better songs and made a smash hit, an all-time smash hit record, and it's a diss song. Not because of that. No, it couldn't be that, right? Gilly said it's black people's fault. Black people, Drake was just winning so much that black people just love to root for the person that's doing the best to fall. And I addressed that in the video. He was completely wrong about that. That is not a black thing. That's a human thing. Check TMZ, check all these other people, right? When superstars, whether it's football players, actors, singers, whoever, it's not a black thing. It's a human thing for people to root for somebody that's doing so well, that's so successful, rooting for them to fall, right? Now, I'm not in that camp. Like I said in that video, I'm not a hater. I don't root for people to fall. I don't care how big they get. I don't do that. I just don't. Right? It's just not me. But people do that. Not just black people, like Gilly said, right? But now here comes J. Cole. Now everybody was waiting for J. Cole's in Cameron's interview. Cameron had a lawsuit, right? They dropped a clip of it yesterday of J. Cole walking in, and it looked staged. It wasn't real. You could tell they was acting. J. Cole walks in the room, and he's like, "What, a lawsuit, dog? You gonna sue me?" And like, what? Cameron like, "Oh, what?" They was acting, right? It was set up. That wasn't authentic, we'll say. Now, J. Cole came on that interview and was asked about what do you think about the whole beef and the whole battle. And he said, people it was a whole campaign for people to root for him to lose, and it's still a campaign. And that's why I can't wait for Iceman to drop, and I hope Iceman is dope as hell, right? And I hope that too. I'm a Drake fan, even though I can admit that he lost the battle. It just is what it is. Not nobody's fault other than Drake's for losing it. Somebody had to lose. It's a battle. Somebody had to lose. But to say it's a hate campaign, that's a little too far. But Glasses Malone said something that I didn't think about, and I did not think about this at all. He has a unique perspective on why Drake lost the battle. I'm going to let y'all hear Glasses Malone speak on Gilly. He's responding to Gilly when Gilly said that it's black people's fault and all that. This is what Glasses Malone had to say.
Doesn't matter. It's great when your guy wins, but you also got to be a player when your guy lost. And Gilly, the truth is your guy lost. It ain't because of no lies. It ain't because everybody wanted to see him lose. It's because he went away from his strength. You can't fake it. You can't fake it. You can't get up on that microphone and be tough when you're not. The reason he was able to beat your city right, in Meek Mill, right, is because he wasn't trying to be tough. He poked fun at himself like he always did in Back to Back. He poked fun at himself. He made it fun. He made it funny. We had a great time enjoying it. And he was able to topple Meek Mill in a battle. Here's one where you tried to convince everybody you was tough and you gonna fight somebody and you gonna do this. The reason he lost the battle is because he came across not believable.
In my video, I said, Drake, it's not black people's fault, and I laid out the reasons why it's just Drake's fault and why Gilly was wrong to blame it on black people, right? Blame it on us. But Glasses Malone came with something I didn't even think about. Drake was not being authentic. Yeah, we've seen this over the years. This is not a new thing with Drake. Like, people have seen, go watch interviews and how he used to talk and how he used to carry himself when he first came in the game. And I know people grow and change, get older, whatever. But then look how he talks and acts now and how he raps on records and all that, right? It's completely different. He got a lot more tough, right? Over the years, he got a lot more tough. He got a lot more gangster. And when he was on top when he went against Meek Mill, nobody said, we was rooting for Drake to lose, but he won. Nobody was saying that, right? Gilly's just mad that his guy won, like Glasses said, that his guy lost, like Glasses said. But he said something important that really people been saying about Drake, and I've been saying it, that he is really not who he portrays to be. Like, if you can tell by certain interviews he does where his real personality comes through at times, and it's kind of not of the culture. It's like something completely different, right? He's kind of weird. He's kind of awkward. He's not who he is on the records. Just his personality, right? He's putting on a front. He's putting extras on it, right? And that's what Glasses said. He said, all of a sudden he's tough and he'll pull up and fight and do all this. And when he beat Meek Mill, he was being authentic. If you go listen to that record, he wasn't talking super duper tough on that record. He was not. He was just being himself. And people can sense that. That's that X factor, right? In any type of art or genre, but especially in music, people can, most of the time, people can tell when somebody is putting extras on this shit. When they're just completely going against what they naturally are, people can see that. People can feel it. You know when someone is not being authentic and true to themselves. And what do I love in my music more than anything else is authenticity. I'm not saying Tupac right here behind me. He was one of the realest because he never said I'm the toughest guy and no one can beat me up and I'm the biggest gangster. He never said that. He said he's a thug because he grew up in poverty. And he made it out. And he not only made it out, he made it to be on the whole other end of the spectrum as far as being rich, right? So he grew up in severe poverty, and then he gained success and got rich, but he still stayed true to himself, right? That's what I love in art, and I think a lot of people love that shit in art. Talking about in musically, authenticity will sell. It will sell. Because when you know somebody is not being their true selves, especially in the art form like rap, like singing and all that, that's a little bit R&B and all that, that's a little different. But with rap, we like to know and think that what you're saying on the record, that's how you truly feel and that's who you really are. Whether you're the biggest nerd and you rapping about comic books or whatever, or you the toughest dude and that's what you rapping about. Whatever you are, if you're being authentic, it'll shine through. I promise. So, Glasses Malone said that, and really, it kind of took me. Like, I was like, damn, man, I didn't even think of it. Like, you ever hear somebody say something, you're like, damn, I didn't even think of it that way. Like, he hit it on, like, dead on. He was dead on with that shit because people have been saying this about Drake for a minute. Like, he's not really of the culture. And to be frank, like, he's a Canadian. He's not even American. He's a Canadian. So. He didn't even grow up in America. Forget the hood. He didn't even grow up in America. So it is what it is. But yeah, it seems like everybody's on this. Oh, Drake didn't lose. It was just a hate campaign. No. There was a lot of people rooting for Drake. A lot, especially when the beef first started. Because Drake put out the first song, right? Drop. Remember the drop. Tell it like, come on. like egging him on, like let's hear it, right? And at first people didn't know whether he was gonna respond or not, and then Kendrick dropped some heat on everybody's head, pause. But yeah, so he wanted, he was pretty much, he called him out. He wanted this battle. So to say it was a hate campaign, no, people was rooting for Drake. Just because he lost don't mean that people was rooting for him to lose. Okay, those two things are not the same. Him losing and people rooting for him to lose are not the same thing. Kendrick Lamar fans might have been rooting for him to lose, but not because it's Drake and he's just so successful. It's because they like Kendrick Lamar. And look, before the beef started, the battle started, I like Drake more than I like Kendrick. After this battle and after Kendrick's GNX album, I like him even more as an artist. Now, I still like Drake a little bit more, but I like listening to that album and that battle made me respect and like Kendrick Lamar even more as an artist. So yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I want to thank everybody who views the video, who views my videos, everybody who likes, shares, all comments, all that. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Without y'all, it wouldn't be possible. Keep your head up and your eyes open. Memberships $1.99 a month. If you do sign up for the membership, I will shout your name out in every video. Shout out to John Paul. Keep your head up and your eyes open. I'm out.
You're now listening to the 7 Day